Hey guys, what's up? If you haven't figured it out by now, well, you probably haven't figured it out by now, because I really haven't said much about it, but I've said some things along the line that we're moving ranges, we're changing locations, things are going to change, we're moving. So this is our video about moving. Alright, so yeah, if you know my channel much at all, you know that I don't do a whole lot of vlog stuff. I think I tried to vlog one day and it was terrible and I didn't even post it. It was horrendous. So we're gonna spare you the grief of me trying to vlog and stuff. Whatever that means, I don't know, but we are going to try to show you our journey, because looking at our trip, or trying to look at our trip ahead of time and say, okay, what do we need to do, all this different kind of stuff for vehicles and all these things. There was plenty of information out there, but the more information that's out there, the easier it is for the next person that's got to make a big long move, especially the way that we are doing it. All right, so if you haven't figured it out, we have lived in Alabama. All right, I'm not going to tell you exactly where, but central Alabama area, and it's been great. We've been there for about 4 years or so, and it's wonderful, great. I have no problems with the place. And well, I do have problems with the place. I don't like the weather. I don't like the humidity. I think it's nasty and gross, and it just makes you sweat. Don't really like that. But wonderful, wonderful friends, like true, actual, like family style friends. People that you're gonna miss really, really bad. People that you're never, ever gonna replace, right? Those kind of people. So we will terribly miss them, and our church equally the same level as, like, we're not gonna replace that church. That's an amazing church. If you're not a Christian, you don't go to church, you probably don't get it, because it's different than being part of like a group or a part of a club. Church is more than family. It's like it's family that reaches deeper than blood, basically. But anyway, I won't get on that. What's it? Not a rabbit trail. Something horse, trip horse, power horse. I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, I won't go on that trip right now. But we are going on a trip, okay? And we are moving from Alabama, and I will say it. Maybe I won't say it. Yes, I will say it. All the way up to Alaska. Okay, we're going to Alaska, and we're driving. So this is gonna be really fun. So let's take a real quick look at the rides that we're taking, the vehicles that we got. We'll tell some stories along the way as far as some issues, and maybe help you not make the same stupid mistakes that we made. But let's look at this stuff, okay? Okay, so this is one car. This is my wife's car. This is I think it's a 2015 4Runner. Should be really good. Shouldn't be any problems with this guy, okay? From what we've been told, right? We put Blizzak tires on both of these vehicles. We've got it packed out pretty much to the max. Well, you could fit a little bit more inside this guy. We should have, technically, from what I'm understanding, plenty of extra gas for whenever we get to those lonely long roads. But it should be good. I anticipate no real problems with that guy. This guy is loaded down to the max. Y'all are familiar with this guy. My Tundra, this guy is loaded down to the max. This camper bed took me forever and a day to try to find, and I think I ended up picking it up in Louisiana. Some guy had it down there, but it is loaded out to the max. If you can see, the picture doesn't capture so well, but this thing has no shocks left. This thing is loaded down. All of this, all the way up to here. You can kind of see in there. It's got everything in there, so it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. One little thing about these tires, these are Blizzaks as well. But one little thing about them is whenever I got the tires mounted, one of the tires had sand on the rim. So for the first 2 days of our trip, we were losing air, and we finally got that fixed. So that will be a huge, huge help. Or weight off my mind. It's not a help, it's a weight off my mind that I don't have to stinking refill air and worry about why it's doing that. This vehicle I did winterize. I did actually put the what is it? The battery heater, engine block heater, transmission, and oil pan heaters. There's 4 of them. This one did come winterized, right? These little tongues that hang out of here. So it does have a battery heater, and I think just an oil and block heater in there. I put this guy on just to see if it's really going to help much at all. This is a WeBoost. I don't remember exactly which model. Might try to find it for y'all if y'all really want to. Got it off the eBays. I think it was a refurbished one. But it does work, surprisingly. It legitimately will boost your signal about a bar. All right, 1 or 2, depending on where you're at, depending on how bad it is. But it actually does work. So hopefully we will be able to extend our ranges of communications, the high-tech communication systems. If you know where that's from, you probably homeschooled. But anyway, yeah, so far these have been doing really well. Gas mileage in both is about the same, around the 15 to 18, give or take, depending on wind and everything. Especially the 4Runner. 4Runner's got that big old bag on top. Yeah, it will. It's pretty much just a huge sail. Okay, so that's a quick down and dirty look at the vehicles that we got. We got them winterized as far as, well, I did the truck as far as putting in all the heaters and everything in it. The 4Runner was already done, but we did bring them both to, I think it was Campbell's, I think is what it is, an auto shop, and they switched out all the fluids and everything so that it doesn't freeze. Because people in Alabama, I'm like, hey, I need to put some like winterized, you know, fluids in this thing. And they're like, oh no, it's good down to like, you know, -10. I'm like, no, it needs to be good to like -40. Like, it's gonna get cold. And they're like, what do you need that for? Anyway, so these guys, they understood, and they helped me out, and they put everything in there that needs to be in there. So hopefully that should all be good. All right, so this is day 4. Technically day 4. This is day 4. Day 1, we went from Alabama to Louisiana. Day 2, Louisiana to Oklahoma, Texas area, but Oklahoma. And we stayed there for Christmas and everything. That's why if you follow me on Instagram, there's a big break in time of us traveling, because that was Christmas vacation stuff. Day 3 was from Oklahoma to Kansas, which is where we're at now. Can't remember what town this is, but kind of west of Wichita. But now we're going to be heading up to, where is it? Wyoming. So this would be a fun drive. This would be a good fun drive, about 8 hours or something like that. It'll probably end up being about 12 the way that we drive, but it'll be interesting. So here we go, day 4. It's gonna be fun. All right, so we got gas and everything, and they decided to put a siren on for us, and it started to snow. It started to snow. Hi, it's snowing.
Hi.
But it's not much snow. But now we're gonna get on the road. All right. All right, we made it to Colorado, and it's really cold. And we just peed real quick and took a picture by the sign over there. Probably can't see it. There we go. And it's snowing, and everything's icing up. See, everything's nice and getting icy and like gross, but it's working well. And we carry on. Wow. Okay, so end of day 4. End of day 4. That was fun. That really wasn't that bad per se. Really, it was actually pretty good. We did finally hit snow, so it was interesting. So we did hit snow. It was just a little sprinkle flurries at first. I think we got that in, where were we? Kansas, I think. It was right at the edge of, right near, around the end of Kansas. And then we got to Colorado, and basically from then on it's been snowing. And now we actually have snow. So now our vehicles actually, get this thing turned around, our vehicles actually look like they have made it through some kind of snow, right? They're starting to look like they're supposed to look, like all covered in snow and dirty. And especially in my truck, because it's white and it shows the dirt. Nice and icy and dirty. Yeah, just a little bit. Doesn't really pick it up, but just a little bit, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. This bag up here, we're not driving this vehicle. My brother-in-law is helping us drive this one. He says it's fine. It's working fine. He's able to keep up, you know, go 60 miles, 70 miles, 72. It's not too bad. It's getting a little icy, but anyway, it was a good drive. I didn't find any slippery spots yet. We do have, like I said, I think I mentioned before, we got those Blizzak tires, so they should be good for this kind of stuff. But I don't know how to drive in the snow very much. Like, I've never done it. I know like basic rules about driving in the snow, but hopefully these videos actually post somewhere. And if it does, that probably means that we didn't die. And if they don't post, then that means that we probably did die, and you'll never know any difference. One cool thing, again, I'm just gonna rant and rave about this, Airbnbs. If you travel much, check into Airbnbs. I would so much rather give my money to like local individuals, right, that do Airbnbs. And not only are you promoting like the local business aspect of everything, but you get so much more for your money. Yeah, you may not get like a continental breakfast kind of thing. Maybe not. Like here, yeah, they have like oatmeal and coffee and different things like that. But you get a house, or like in this case, a lower level of a house. 100 times better than a hotel, in my opinion. Like if you were to buy a hotel with that many rooms, it costs you an arm and a leg. These don't cost that much. Like they're not cheap, like 20 bucks, but they're like 100 bucks, 120 bucks or something. They're very, very reasonable. Anyway, I'm gonna get off that high horse. I'm sure I'd hit it again later. But look, I wonder if he's still here. When we first rolled in, yep, he's still right there. You can see the glint of his eyeball. He'll probably run away now that I'm trying to look at him. It's a big old rabbit, and he's just been sitting here this whole time. Anyway, that's not very interesting, and y'all don't care about that. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is day 4 in the books. Hit ice, or hit snow, no ice. From what we're being told by the guy that has this house, there's gonna be like some nasty stuff. So yes, this will be interesting. Very, very interesting. Tomorrow today we're in Wyoming, but tomorrow we're still gonna be in Wyoming, but taking some shorter trips and stuff. But he says it's gonna be pretty nasty. Anyway, guys, this is totally different than any other videos that I've done. But I'm just kind of trying to keep y'all up to date on our little journey. All right, see y'all on day 5. Okay, so day 5, we're going. What is this? 300, about 400 miles. Should get there probably around 6, probably. What's your favorite part about the trip?
The snow.
Going to Canada and playing in snow.
We haven't gone to Canada yet. You like playing in the snow? What's your favorite part of the trip? Huh? What's your favorite part?
I don't know.
I don't know. What's your favorite part?
Reading books.
Reading books. I don't know. I just like staying alive. But anyway, so we got our vehicular and then our other vehicular loaded down with stuff. Hopefully, actually, I need to check those straps before we leave. Anyway, so we're starting out day 5. Let's do it. Okay, well, here we go. This is the end of day 5, I do believe. We went from the southern border of Wyoming, and now we're in Cody. And I think I've been in Cody before. I know as a family vacation, we've been here before, and we saw this museum, and we saw this really old, strange video about, what was it? I think it was like, I don't remember what it was, something about Yellowstone. I think it was Yellowstone. It was either here or it was something to do with the Grand Canyon, which is way far away from here. Anyway, that's random. But we travel, what was it, about 6-ish hours or something like that. And we finally hit like some solid snow stuff, right? So it snowed last night and it iced up the roads a good little bit. The truck actually looks nice and clean because we washed it. But it was covered in filthy, nasty, full of that sludgy, just grossness stuff. And I don't know if they use salt here. I suspect that they do. It looked like salt. Left that nasty residual crap on the vehicle. So we washed all that out because I'm paranoid about rust right now for reasons I'll get into probably different time or I don't know when. But anyway, I don't want rust on my stuff. But this thing did help, right? Extending. I don't know if extending it really helped gain any service or signal, but there were some spots where there was actually nothing at all. Okay, I know I'm bouncing around all over the place here, but I gotta go to the bathroom. So I'm gonna try to wrap this up real quick. I think we did about, like I said, like 5-6-ish hours, something like that. And then you can't see it, but we have another Airbnb. Sound like a commercial talking about Airbnbs, but I'm telling you, this is the way to go. These folks, apparently, I think they're on vacation, so they're not here. So technically, they told us, like, we have their whole house, kind of. Like, we're not going in their rooms, but, you know, we've got, like, 3 bedrooms. You could sleep up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 people, really, if you wanted to. It's awesome. It's the way to go. But anyway, I'm going to go inside and go to the bathroom, get some food to eat. Tomorrow, I think, is about the same as today, maybe a little bit less, I think. Probably like another 5 hours, maybe, by the time it's all said and done. But I'm actually very pleased with this vehicle. The fact that it is weighted down, we still need to weigh these things. But it's weighted down super, super heavy, in my opinion. The snow tires did fantastic job. I never had any slippage or anything crazy, even though there were some nasty spots on those roads. Like, I don't know a whole lot about driving in snow, but I can see ice, and then I know that there's black ice out there. And everybody else, even the locals, were all slowing down. So, yeah, it was pretty nasty. It was pretty gross. And then mileage, like gas mileage. We are getting roughly 15 to 16 miles per gallon. There's sometimes where it's 14 if we're climbing a bunch of hills and stuff, but 15 to 16 fully loaded down, I'm happy with that. And I've heard the snow tires are softer and everything, that they do something, like they decrease your mileage. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, end of day 5, day 6 tomorrow. Excited about it. And talking about beautiful scenery, super beautiful scenery, crazy beautiful. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. All right, look forward to tomorrow. All right, well, good morning, everybody. I think it is day 6 now, I believe. Yeah, yesterday was day 5, so day 6. We're showered up. We're not quite ready to go, but now you can kind of see the house. Look at this house, guys. Again, Airbnb is the way to go. Beat that drum until the hole falls in it. But these folks, they let us in, even though they weren't even here. So technically we were supposed to have the top floor, but they told us, go ahead, you can have the bottom floor, the top floor, eat food in the kitchen, whatever. It's awesome. It's awesome. Anyway, but today the end destination is supposed to be Montana. If you know what movie I'm thinking of right now, then you really know my mind. If you don't, then yeah, whatever. Anyway, but Montana, we're supposed to get up there, the very southern tip, I think. I don't remember. Or maybe it's not. I don't know, but it is Montana. But it's supposed to only be like a 4-hour drive. But Yellowstone is they're seasonally closed, right? Some of the gates. So since Yellowstone is closed, or at least the gates, it might hamper our drive a little bit, because we were planning on going through, looking at Old Faithful and all that. Not sure exactly if that's going to work. So we'll see what happens. We're debating whether or not to go through the north gate. Look at that moon. That's cool. We're debating whether or not to go through the north entrance and the northeast entrance, I think, because we could go through those and just see the very top of Yellowstone. But we'll see. We'll see. You'll know before we know. Not really. Anyway, Anyway, getting on rabbit trails. We might go to see the northern part of Yellowstone. We might not. But we got the cars washed last night. Everything seems to be hunky-dory, looking good. Ready for another day. It's either going to be a short day or like a 9-hour long day. I have no idea, but we'll figure it out. All right? Well, good morning. So this is day 6, I think. I don't remember. And we were supposed to go to Yellowstone, but I don't think we're going to.
It's day 6 because yesterday you said it was day 5.
Correct.
Is today day 6?
Technically, because we stopped in Oklahoma. Anyway, but yeah, day 6. So we are in Cody. We're going to look around in Cody. And then I don't think we're going to Yellowstone because it's closed seasonally and all that stuff. So we'll just look around a little bit and then head on up to Montana. And we're going to go and get us some coffee. This took forever to try to find a coffee place that wasn't inside of a building, but this is a small building. But support your local businesses, right? So anyway, here we go. Day 6, morning of, everything's fine. Got to 7 degrees last night and awesome Airbnb. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, that's really close. I think I'm zoomed in. Yeah. See, that's better. All right, guys, so end of day 6. We made it into, Montana. We were not able to go to Yellowstone because of seasonal closures on the roads and things like that. But that's fine, whatever. It is what it is. We tried to go to the, who was it? Forget the name. Wasn't wider. I don't remember. We tried to go to a museum in Cody, but it didn't work out because it was closed. Of course, everything's just closed. Whatever. Anyway, we were able to hit the road, made really good time. We were actually able to go 80 miles an hour. That was awesome. And surprisingly, like not really surprisingly, once you get this vehicle going, and even with a V8, 5.7 V8, this thing can roll, right? It can go. It's got some get up, even packed down with everything we got in there. The other vehicular back over there, right, that's got a bigger bag on top. So I was not driving that vehicle. I've been driving the truck. So this guy's as streamlined as a truck's going to be, but he doesn't have a big old sail on top like the 4Runner. So I can imagine that guy was getting blown around a little bit because we did have some nasty wind. So yes, we were able to go 80 miles most of the way, but at some point a semi-truck got blown over not too far ahead of us. So that's kind of creepy. Not really creepy, but you got to watch out for that kind of stuff because it was pretty stinking gusty winds. Like, you can't really see it because there's no trees where we were at. You can see the grass leaning over a little bit, but you can tell you're correcting on your wheel, like a constant, decent correction, right? But the road is as straight as an arrow and it's flat. And you're like, oh yeah. And then they actually have wind socks, right? Like you see at airports, they actually have those periodically throughout, and you'll see that it was like straight over like 90 degrees. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. What is that, 45? I don't remember. Straight out to the right, straight out, hanging out. Anyway, so it was very strong winds. But even with all that, it was great. Pretty good trip. But we made good time. I think it only took us like, I don't remember how many hours. I don't remember. I think it was like 400 miles. I could be wrong on that. It wasn't really very far. 300 or 400 miles, it wasn't that bad. But we're at another Airbnb. We're going to get some rest. It's only like 3:45. It's not late at all, so we might get something to eat. I don't think there's anything to do in this town. I can't remember what the town is called, but anyway, wrap it up. That's day 6, end of day 6. Unless something crazy happens this evening, we're not going anywhere. And it looks like it's gonna snow. You can see some clouds rolling in, and it looks like, kind of looks like snow. Anyway, all right, but we will see y'all tomorrow, day 7 into Canada. All right, beginning of day 7. I forgot to get a thing when I'm outside the car, so we're inside the car driving. We got about almost 500 miles, 470-ish, whatever, and we are crossing into Canada today, so that will be interesting. But this is Montana, and it is gorgeous. It's super awesome. One thing, like, we've done just a little bit of traveling, right? And like over in Europe and stuff, they have these grand castles and this architecture and all this stuff, but we beat them hands down in like
Beautiful
nature, right? There's so much diversity, first off, in like the landscape. Like you go from Oklahoma to, you know, Florida, that's drastically different, but then you go to Wyoming and Colorado, and like we have mountains, we have awesomeness. Like it's awesome. So anyway, and you don't have to go outside the country like you do in Europe to go to all these different little, you know, countries the size of states. Anyway, I'm rambling, but it's super cool, right? Appreciate your country. But there we go, crossing to Canada today. About a 8-hour, probably get there around 6. It'd be a long day. So anyway, here we go. All right, well, good morning. So we spent the night in Calgary, and it was pretty good. Actually, the Airbnb here was actually pretty nice. It worked out pretty stinking well. Strange thing is just I can't go over the parking. You would think there'd be more parking, but who cares? Whatever. Calgary seems to be huge. From our window, we could see the big part, or the skyline, whatever you want to call it. It is pretty beautiful, and it is a huge city. It looks like a huge city, at least compared to where we're used to seeing, crossing through all these little towns and little things. Pretty stinking huge city. But anyways, pretty nice. So we're gonna hit the road here in a minute, and I think our next destination is Dawson Creek, whatever. It's almost like 9 hours away, so it's gonna be a long day of driving, but there's no border to go through, so we shouldn't have to deal with all that. But yeah, about an 8 hour 45, 9 hour drive with stops or without stops and everything. So we'll have to add stops to that. But anyway, here we go. Everything seems to be running good on the truck, and over there on the 4Runner, everything seems to be good. Changed everything over to kilometers. That was fun. Not a big deal. I mean, it's fine. But it is cool that, you know, I think on that one, on the 4Runner, the speedometer, you can actually change it, or at least the digital part of the speedometer can change. But yeah, because we were talking this morning about how far we were going. It was like 500 something miles, and I'm looking at my GPS. I'm like, it's 800. Oh no, that's kilometers. whatever problems. All right, anyway, to Dawson's Creek. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, we made it to Dawson Creek. I think that's what this place is, Dawson Creek. Anyway, and everything ran fine. The truck ran great. We actually got like 16, 17 miles a gallon. That's pretty good with that thing weighted down like that. I keep saying that, and it's probably the same thing over and over, but it's working good. And the 4Runner seems to be running fine. Again, I'm not driving that one, so I don't know. But those Blizzak tires, like, yeah, I could easily get overconfident. I really want to get to like a nice area where I can test them out and see, because I'm going to have to really learn how to drive on this ice, snow stuff. But anyway, it went well without a hitch. It was a long drive. It was probably around a 9-hour drive by the time it was all said and done. I think tomorrow's is supposed to be a little bit less, so I'm hoping 7 to 8 or something like that. Here's everybody else. They got food, so we're going to eat and get some rest and then head out tomorrow. I don't remember where we're going tomorrow, but I'll know in the morning. All right, see you in the morning. All right, good morning, everybody. I believe it's day 9. I told you I had to get these confused. It might be day 9, I don't know. But we are in Dawson Creek, and we're headed to Mancho, I don't know how to say it. Some Mancho Lake. I'll just say Mancho Lake. It's about a 9-hour drive. I believe it's the Northern Rockies Lodge or something like that is where we're going to. For about 9 hours. Everything seems to be going well so far. Snowed just a little bit last night. Not much at all, or at least not much right here. So hopefully the roads are still good. They were pretty good yesterday. Hopefully they're still good today. We'll see how it goes. But about 9 hours. We tried to get up earlier to hit the road because it gets darker. It gets lighter later and darker earlier. So we don't like driving in the dark. Not with all the animals and snow and ice. I don't really like that. So we're gonna try to hit the road. There's a moon up there. Give us some moonlight and see what happens today. Alrighty, guys. We made it to, I think this place is Mancho Lake or something like that. But that was about a probably about a 9-hour drive, 8.5 or something like that. It's a little cold. I think it's about -2, something like that. -21 Celsius, I think. But anyway, we plugged the cars in. Apparently, that's what we do now. And we're gonna go get some sleep and stuff. And it looks like it's dark and it's late, but it is actually only 6 o'clock. So it's not bad. Not bad at all. But tomorrow, our drive is gonna be about the same. We're still in British Columbia. Tomorrow we hit the Yukon. Most of today was actually on some really ice and snow roads, really, honestly. Like the days before, it's been dry and everything has been wonderful. These have been like icy snow roads. But in all honesty, I'm extremely surprised and very happy with these tires. You don't feel any slippage or anything. It feels great. It feels just like you're driving on the road. You just gotta be a little bit careful around the corners, but it's pretty good. So anyway, we're gonna get some sleep and hit the road tomorrow to the Yukon.
So cool. Oh, I know. Oh, I know why they're digging.
It's 10 a.m.
It's day what?
Day 10, is it?
Day 10 or 9?
Day 10. Yeah, day 10.
Day 10. Sure.
Oh, there's a truck. Day 10.
Saw some buffaloes.
Hello.
Hi, Bubby. It's day 10.
Say hi.
Hi, Sissy.
It's not day 10.
Yes, it's day 10.
It's day 10. You silly.
Yup. We got what? 9 hours? Something to go?
No.
We started out with about 9.5 hours.
It's 557 kilometers, going about 90 divided by
Started out with 9.5 hours.
If we're going 100 and it's 557, so it'd be like 5 hours and 30 seconds. But then we're not quite going 100, so we have about 7.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, here's a bunch of buffalo,
That
and
is so
I don't
cool.
think they want to get off the road.
No! No!
That's so cool. I'm kind of cool about that.
And I don't want them to hit my truck. So we're just gonna wait for them to kind
You
of.
see that one? It's just like looking at
I
us.
know. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Buffalo
we're trying to move.
soldier. Move a little forward.
I
so
don't
we
want them
can
to hit our
them.
car.
No, they're not gonna hit it. They're
They
just
get
gonna
mad. They
stare.
could.
What? Oh, they're babies. You see the babies?
That is crazy.
Buddy, you see the buffalo, son?
They're all out there.
Wow. Well, you know what? It's beautiful. The moon and the...
Mommy, this is so cool.
Look at that guy staring you down.
I know. Alright guys, so we made it this morning out of Mancho Lake, I think is what it was. The lodge was really nice, but we made it out, and now we are, I have no idea where we're at. I don't know. We're somewhere between there and where we're going, Whitehorse, but we're only like 2 hours in, so we probably got another 7 hours or so to go. We ran into a bunch of buffalo. That was pretty cool. We were seeing them on the sides of the road, and it was pretty neat. And then come around a corner, and then there's like, maybe there's 100 of them, maybe there's 50 of them. I don't know. I didn't try to count them all, but it was pretty crazy. There are a lot of them over there. Where's the sun, moon? There it is, back there. Anyway, yeah, ran into a bunch of them, and they did not want to move. They were just standing there. And we got close to them, and they just did not want to move at all. So we finally stood there for a while, and finally somebody came from the other direction, and he kind of got them moving a little bit, and then we pulled forward a little bit more, and then they finally got out of the way. But I did not want one of those things to run into the side of the truck. But anyway, onward to Whitehorse. I think we still have about 500 something kilometers to go. So here we go. All right, guys, good morning. Today, I think I told you I was gonna forget the days. I think it is day 10 or 11. I can't remember exactly, but we are here at Whitehorse. We got some good rest last night and another Airbnb. And today we are headed to Tok, right? So we should, as long as everything goes well, we should cross into Alaska sometime around noon. But anyway, I think we have about an 8.5 hour drive. Supposed to be, I think, the worst road conditions out of the whole trip, but it's been great so far. So we'll see how it goes. Get in the cars, get moving. 8.5 hours. Let's do this. Okay.
We made it.
We made it. So that's the Canadian border over there. So technically we made it.
There's the maple.
Oh, yep, there's the maple leaf.
Bye, maple leaf.
Bye, maple people. And now we'll see if the U.S. border is any different. But I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be all right. But that was actually pretty cool. Canada, like, besides politics, and I can say the same thing for the U.S., politics suck. But aside from that, like,
People are nice.
the people are awesome.
They're just like us.
Yes. And the nature, like, the scenery is gorgeous, is great. But if the politics could be scrubbed out of it, this should have been way better. We still would have been booking it, trying to get through and, you know, making time and stuff. But we got to see a lot. That was really cool. Do y'all like it? Do y'all like the trip? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Do you like it, buddy?
Yay! No, I see deer.
Okay, he saw deer. Okay, so that's that. But not really. We got a little bit more to get to where we're actually going, and then one more day of travel. Just like a short day. All right. Hey guys. Okay, so we made it to Tok, Alaska. So this was actually pretty cool. We made it all through all those nasty highways, the AlCan highway. I mean, still technically, we have some left to do, obviously. This isn't the very last video, but we have a little bit left to do. We've got about 6 hours tomorrow, and then we'll finally be home, right? But these vehicles have rocked and rolled, dude. These things have been awesome. I mean, the vehicles themselves have ran well, but I'm rambling on mainly about these tires. Something about those tires, man. I think partially because these vehicles are so weighted down, you get like maximum traction as far as like there's no doubt that you're going to be pushed down, right? And then with these tires being new, they have all the grip that they could possibly have. These things are awesome. These Blizzak tires, they are awesome. So I have not, there was one time, a couple times in between Whitehorse and the border where I don't know if it's grading the road, whatever, they got the lines in the road and you'd feel it kind of wiggle a little bit. But I say that's more those lines that they have cut in the road, right? Because any time that those lines were not there, these things are, you would never even know you're driving on ice, right? I mean, you would not know. These things are awesome. And I can't speak 100% for the 4Runner because I haven't driven that one at all up here yet. But my brother-in-law says that it's the same thing. Like it feels solid. It's great. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So anyway, we're in Tok. We did eat at Fast Eddie's. I think it's what it's called, Fast Eddie's. Really good stuff. We had burgers and some things, but it was really, really good. And tomorrow we have about 6 more hours until we finally get to Anchorage. So we're just going to chill out a little bit here. Time changed, so it's 6 o'clock, where it should be 6 o'clock. It's actually only 4. So we got in here a little bit early. We could have pushed through, but it's 4 o'clock, and you can see it already is like looking like, you know, 7 o'clock at night or something like that, right? Because we're losing daylight a little bit. So we'd rather drive during the day. And apparently this last stretch, you do get some more bumps in the road and stuff. I will say that from Whitehorse north and onto the border, the roads it wasn't bad, but it wasn't smooth. It wasn't like it wasn't normal, right? There was a lot of dips and bumps and things, and you kind of had to slow down a little bit, especially since I've maxed out the shocks on the truck. I don't want to I feel like if you go over some of those bumps too hard, you're going to blast the tires out. No idea if that would actually happen, but I don't want to take the risk. So tomorrow we're just going to be driving a little bit slower, maybe going around some twists and turns and stuff. But that's pretty much it. 6 more hours and we'll be home. All right, catch you in the morning. All right, good morning, folks. So I told you I was going to forget the days. I don't know which day this is. I think it's like day 12, something like that. But we stayed the night here at this bed and breakfast, and because of certain things, they didn't give us like a normal breakfast like they usually would at a bed and breakfast. So it basically was like an Airbnb, pretty much. But it was really nice. It was really good. Got some solid, good sleep. We got here what felt like on time was actually really early because we had the 2 hour, we gained 2 hours, right? So we got here at like 3 in the afternoon. It was supposed to be around 5 or 6 or whatever. Anyway, so we had a good meal last night, got a good solid sleep, and today is only a 6.5 hour drive, and then we'll be done, right? So we are in Tok, headed to Anchorage, 6.5 hours. Be fun. All right, all right, guys, we made it. It was only like a 6.5 hour drive or something like that. I'll put a picture in here of the total end mileage, and it's like 5,000 something. It was a pretty long stretch. It was a pretty good drive though, but everything went well. Everything seemed to function perfectly fine, as far as I can tell, until we find out it didn't or something. But we got our vehicles weighed heavy, and now we emptied everything out, put it in the house, and we'll go back and weigh them empty. But that's a different part for a different thing. Y'all don't need to know about all that kind of all those details, but everything else, I mean, everything went well. I will do some different things on, maybe the Wii Boost and some of the gear and stuff that we used, but that'll be a little bit separate than this video itself. All right. But that was a long drive. Appreciate y'all watching. If you have any questions about this whole driving from Alabama all the way up to Alaska, through Canada, during the COVID hoopla that's going on, if you got any questions about it, hit me up. I will do my best to answer whatever questions you have, even though I have hardly any, information that anybody else wouldn't have. I mean, I just have personal experience driving through the area, so... but I'll be happy to help out anybody that I possibly can. All right, guys, again, I appreciate you watching. Appreciate y'all hanging in there. It'll be interesting to see where this channel goes from here, because obviously I'm not going to drive 5,000 miles, go back down to 76 and shoot some videos. I wish I could. It's going to be a little interesting, so we'll have to figure out new places to go. Probably same stuff to do. We might throw in some new stuff now that we have different terrain, but we'll figure it out. So give me a break, all right? If I don't get content out there as regularly as I have been, but yeah, it's a new chapter, a new adventure, 2021. Here we go. All right. Appreciate y'all watching, subscribing, and everything. We'll end it with that. All right. See y'all later.